How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to M.A.D Reactions. Thanks for joining me, and welcome to another crazy bonkers episode. And I'm telling you, this is nuts. I've got a new channel that I'm going to check out. This is Abyssal Detectives. Icebergs. So yeah, if you've seen these already, if you know what I'm talking about, if not, please go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, and leave notifications on, because I'm damn sure you're going to like this. I watched one this afternoon on on this channel, and bloody hell. So this one I've pulled up for us. So this is the most hacked webcams heard of. Bloody mental, absolutely mental. I mean, webcams, we've all got them. I'm using one right now. You know, it's webcams, it's phone cams, it's CCTV, ring door camera. It's all of that sort of stuff. It's been hacked. So, yeah, I don't know. There's some sick individuals in this world. There really are. So look, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It's all free, and then you become part of this crazy asylum thing that we got going on here, because we're all mad. And why not? You know, why not? So look, yeah, please subscribe to our channel. And you know, if you haven't watched our story, if you haven't seen us, you know, if you haven't seen any of us already, then I don't know. I like to think you're in for a bit of a, I don't know, a good time, man. Because like, I just let loose. You know, this is raw, uncut, let loose. You get exactly what it says on the tin. All right, you ready for this? Abyssal Detective. And it's just nuts webcam that's been hacked. Honest to God, this is crazy, this sort of stuff. Honestly. You ready for this? Let's rock and roll, peeps. Let's rock and roll.
25 cases, 7 levels. This is the most disturbing hacked webcams iceberg. Let's begin at the tip.
Wow.
Level 1. Creep hacks into Ring camera to spy on victim. Blake was sitting in the kitchen of his home in Staten Island doing his homework when someone suddenly spoke through the Ring camera.
Oh my God.
Hello, I can see you.
Hello? I see you.
Wow.
Startled at the unfamiliar voice, he replied,
What? I see you. How you doing? How's your day?
Unfazed, the person repeated himself and initiated a casual conversation. Blake moved closer to the camera and continued replying to his questions. When the stranger asked for his name, he smartly gave him a different name, Lamar.
What's your name?
Lamar.
What up, Lamar? How's your day?
Don't that house remind you of Paranormal Activity, Starly?
Buying himself time
Crazy,
to figure
eh?
out how to disconnect the Ring camera. The stranger continued asking him if he played video games before Blake disabled the camera.
Do you play CSGO?
What's it called?
CSGO.
However, the creep was not done. Quickly, Blake moved from the kitchen to the foyer, visibly stressed as he tried to contact his parents, but the hacker followed him.
What's up, homie? I still see you.
Because the home's multiple linked Ring cameras were all connected under one account,
Jesus
allowing the intruder
Christ
to
almighty.
switch between them. Now panicking, Blake ran away. Still, the hacker continued to follow him through the 6 Ring cameras installed in the house, before eventually setting off the home's siren.
I don't understand, right? Why people? I can understand having them on your front door. I can understand having like a nanny cam if you know you have a nanny, obviously, you know. But I don't understand why people have house cameras all the way around your house. I mean, why? What? I mean, I don't understand. I don't know. Why would you do that? Why do you need to have your family under surveillance, man? It's just, you know, odd.
Consequently, Blake called his mother for help and hid in his bedroom until her return.
Jesus Christ, do you know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't have a bloody foggiest. I had issues setting this stuff up. I'm not very good when it comes to computers. I have to let April do it, or we get our computer wizard in. His name's Shep, and I'm telling you, if there's nothing if there isn't something he can't do, it's not a computer. Because I'm bloody useless. So how the hell do they? Surely they're just fucking nuts, man. Sorry, I just is crazy.
Netflix and chill webcam hack.
What?
While Blake's hacker played for attention, Chelsea's hacker wanted proof. Like many couples, Chelsea Clark and her boyfriend cuddled in bed for a quiet night of Netflix and chill,
Oh, that's
unaware that they weren't.
That's what that means, doesn't it? Netflix and chill. It means let's get it on. That sort of stuff. It's the new age talk, isn't it? I suppose. It's the new age talk. I'm talking like I'm fucking 200 years old. I'm only 50, but I'm telling you what. I thought I was down with this. You know, I'm pretty cool. I thought. Obviously, bloody not. So just sit in the corner, put my slippers on, smoke my pipe, and suck on a Werther's.
Alone in the room. It wasn't until the next morning when Chelsea logged into her Facebook account that she realized they'd Netflix and chilled with a third person.
What?
An account with the name M.A.D had sent her a message that said, "Really cute couple," along with pictures of her and her boyfriend cuddled up in bed just the night before. Frightened, Chelsea checked through the sender's profile, and it was even more bizarre. His profile was inactive, except that he was following a few football teams, used Heath Ledger's Joker as his profile picture, and belonged to a Facebook group called Spammers and Hackers.
Seriously, right? To actually sit there and go through all that trouble in hacking someone just to get a rise out of someone or get them worried or scared or you know, you must be some real, like, weirdo. That's all I can think of the words. All I can think of is that bloody weirdo. You're a weirdo. Whoever does this sort of stuff's a weirdos.
Still, that was not the worst of it. Chelsea had set her privacy settings to ensure no one could send her a message except friends. But when she checked her history, she realized that the hacker had added himself to her friends list just before the messages were sent. Moreover, his location was listed in Cairo, Egypt, indicating that he must have required some form of user interaction, such as Chelsea needing to open a document or click a link. Since she didn't recall doing any of that, she went to the Toronto authorities to report the case. However, her report was of little help. The authorities claimed they had no resources to identify the hacker, so they suggested that she should simply block the user and hope he would not contact her again.
Because it's that easy and it's that straightforward, you know.
Obviously not satisfied, she contacted Facebook, which stated that Mahmoud Abdo had not violated any of their policy.
So taking photographs of someone having a little smooch, surely that's not, you know, come on, that's like breaching private, you know, isn't it? Shouldn't be allowed. End of.
It was never identified.
That's just shocking, man. Shocking.
Level.
So basically, what I've done. I know I keep opening my gob and that. Sorry, but look, it's just common sense. When I gave like tablets to my kids or something like that to play with, I've put plasters or something, you know, covering up the cameras so they can't. Shouldn't have to.
2. Stranger hijacks baby monitor feed, speaks through the device.
That's what I mean.
While Joe and John were working downstairs in their home office, their daughter called out to them, but they were not ready for what was about to come. When Joe got to their daughter, Jaden, she told her that a voice was talking to her.
My daughter called up from upstairs. She's saying, "Mommy, the voice is talking to me."
Unsure of what she meant, Joe asked her who and where this voice was coming from. Surprisingly, Jaden pointed to the white camera sitting in her room. As Joe watched, the camera's lens shifted slightly, following their movement, confirming that someone was controlling it from outside.
I must be bloody stupid because I bet there's hundreds of you right now screaming at it, telling me it's so easy to do. I bet it is, isn't it? It's terrible. Surely you can block that sort of stuff. And wouldn't it just work with whoever's got the app on their phone? You know? Isn't it like a ring door camera sort of setup?
That was when Jaden added that the man had said, "Jaden, I love you."
Oh, piss
the man
off,
that said, "Jaden, I
mate.
love you." I said, "No, it was over here," and she pointed right at the camera. And I said, "Coming from this white camera?" And she said, "Yes."
Scared, she moved closer to the camera, and that was when she noticed that it had moved positions from their younger child's crib to the room itself without any of their input. Certain that something was amiss, they immediately unplugged the camera. Disconnecting the camera only stopped the voice. It didn't block the hackers' access to their network. The camera was a baby shower gift for their youngest child about 6 months earlier. Since then, they've noticed strange resets and motions. And just weeks before, John's mother had heard a strange voice but thought nothing of it until Jaden's report. All effort to get support from the brand were futile. The customer support domain returns to a site where other security cameras from the same brand are listed. No explanations were given, and the hacker remains unknown.
It's just crazy. It's absolutely bloody crazy, right? That is a baby monitor crap. That should be secure on every effing level. Don't you agree? Every level. Every single bloke. You shouldn't be able to access anything to do with that unless your mum and dad. And your mum and dad's allowed you. You know? Them things, I don't know how it goes on, but it shouldn't be allowed. Shouldn't be allowed.
Ring camera hacked in 8-year-old girl's bedroom. Ashley LeMay installed a Ring camera in her daughter's room so that she could watch over them while she worked overnight nursing shifts. But 4 days
I can understand that. You're at work, you want to see your kids, make sure they're alright. If you've got a nanny or something, I can understand that.
Later, it failed to protect her child. She was out running errands and her husband was at home with the kids. Her daughter Alyssa heard noises coming from her bedroom and went in to see what it was. Once inside, she realized it was very creepy music, like one in a horror movie, but she couldn't figure out where the sound was coming from, so she couldn't turn it off. She started looking around the room, and that's when a voice filled the room.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend.
Oh,
You can do whatever you want right now.
oh my goodness.
When she asked who it was, the voice replied,
I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
Jesus
A
Christ.
moment, Alyssa froze, but her hesitation only encouraged the hacker, who began talking more, testing how much control he had over her attention.
You can mess up your room. You can break your TV.
What?
You can do whatever you want.
Meanwhile, her mother had already gotten the notification, seen the video, and was on her way to the house.
What possesses a human being to do that? I mean, serious to bloody God. My wife.
Terrified,
Wow.
Alyssa
This
screamed
is
her name for
fucking
help,
nuts.
who got into the room before the stranger could go any further. When she contacted Ring, they stated that the hacker did not gain access through a data breach. Instead, they took advantage of the family's weak password security, a loop.
Right. My other half, right? Her grandparents have got this on their front door, right? Now, all the family can see, right? Who's at the front door and who's got one in the hallway, so we can see, right? Make sure the old man's alright, yeah? But the only person that can use that is whoever's on that list and who's been accepted, you know, from them. How can anybody just jump on it?
Pull that, as more cases would soon
I
show.
bet it's really easy, innit? I'm just a thick twat, but I bet it's really easy. Shouldn't be allowed to do. It should be seriously, like, proper, like, security, no go, mate.
Had become an open door for intruders.
Your
across
name's not
countless
down, you're not
homes.
coming in.
Level 3. Ring camera hacker yells racial slurs at family. Josephine Brown and her husband were home alone planning to call their son on FaceTime when a loud alarm suddenly sounded from their Ring camera. At first they thought it was a malfunction, but the noise wouldn't stop, forcing them to focus entirely on the device. Without realizing it, they were caught in the hacker's loop of control.
Oh, God.
Confused, Josephine's husband wandered around the kitchen area and living room, attempting to turn it off, when an unfamiliar voice suddenly spoke.
Main man Shaq, it's your boy Chance on Nold. Welcome to the Noldcast.
Their safety tool had turned against them. Suddenly, the hacker started talking to the husband about their son.
Wait, so did your child come out black or like kind of like light skin?
You're fucking kidding me, mate. You racist bastard. Excuse my language. but that's
Josephine and her
just-
husband were an interracial
Wow, mate.
couple, so the hacker asked what color their son turned out to be.
Wow.
Continued using racial slurs and inappropriate words while Josephine's husband figured out what to do.
Probably has steam coming out of his ear holes. Bloody hell.
A few minutes in, the hacker instructed the husband to log into a website.
Can can you bring like a web browser up on your phone and then type in the website that I tell you?
Why would you do that?
No.
No.
Why?
Because
When he
not.
refused, the hacker threatened to keep the alarm blaring until they complied.
I'll leave you and your family alone. Or I could do this.
You're joking me. Actually, how the fucking hell can he get hold?
Josephine's husband quickly pulled the batteries out.
How the hell has he got hold of his alarm as well? I know why it all syncs up together. I know. Why would you have all that in your house? Honest to God, it's just dangerous, man. Bloody hell.
After the incident, Josephine told the authorities that she was still scared and was certain the hacker had been watching them for far longer than he revealed.
Wow.
Since her son never appeared on screen during the exchange, still the hacker kept talking about him. When the family contacted Ring, they received an email stating that their security team had detected an exposed email address and password from one of the family's external accounts in a data breach. Arjun and Jessica's son.
That is just nuts. So basically what they're saying, if you have any of these camera stuff in your house, if you've got your whole house set up like Big Brother, you know, as they say, obviously, like, people are catching, oh, you know, like getting into your accounts and stuff because there's shitty passwords, you know? You choose a bloody password that no one's, not a chance in the hell, in a billion years, anyone going to pick it. You know what I mean? Don't have it, no related, no birthdays, no kids' names, no, you know what I mean? God, right, my bloody eye also, I just don't like that. It's a naughty video.
A Nest hack. When Arjun and Jessica installed 16 Nest cameras and a security system in their home, they never would have imagined it would be used to put their child in danger.
16, did he say? Well,
Jessica
hang on,
installed
let's do this again.
16 Nest cameras and a security system in their home. They never would have imagined it would be used to put their child in danger.
Why does he need 16 cameras? 16 cameras in your house. I wouldn't like that.
Arjun was standing outside his son's door when he heard a deep voice speaking to his son on the baby monitor.
Oh my.
When he entered the room, the voice stopped. So he and Jessica concluded that it was an interference with the baby monitor. However, when they went back downstairs, they heard it again. However, this time the voice was using inappropriate words and taunting them with slurs.
Yes, I'm here. Come.
I know you're here. Who are you?
That's when they realized that someone had hacked into the Nest camera in their son's room and was speaking to him. Even worse, they had hacked into the thermostat in the room and raised the temperature to 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, Jesus
Pulled out his
Christ.
phone to record and tried to keep a conversation with the intruder.
See, this is what happens when you go on electric. So many people have done it, and it's like everything is electric. Everything. You walk in your house, lights, ching. You know what I mean? Alexa, bang. Bloody heating, doof. Your water, doof. You know, it's all. You can set it up. You can turn your heating on nowadays by coming before you get in. You know, it's bloody cold indoors when I get in. I'm gonna put the heating on. I mean, that's how they're doing it. Is, you know, and one password, I suppose, unlocks everything, doesn't it? Bloody hell, man. Seriously, why does everyone have all these gadgets everywhere like this? I just don't understand why you know, when you get indoors, if it's cold, put the bloody heating on. Put the water on. Water's come on in the morning, job done for the day.
When Arjun asked, "I know you are here, who are you?" the hacker replied in a faint tone, and it was difficult to make out what he was saying.
Who is this? Are you just sitting at your computer there? Into my account? What's that?
Scared, they unplugged the cameras, called the police, and contacted Nest. In response, Nest maintained that its systems were not breached. However, users had used compromised passwords, which made them vulnerable to hacking.
But they shouldn't, even if they do try and get into it, because it's a baby thing, there should be like, I mean, as you bloody can tell by now, I'm not very gadgetal, you know, like that, right? So surely there should be some sort of because it's a child, it has anything to do with a child or small children, there should be a block, you know, like, phew, and doesn't matter what you do, you ain't getting in it, sort of thing, you know. It's terrible.
Arjun wanted to return the products, but Nest refused to take them back. They encouraged them to use unique passwords and enable two-factor verification. However, Arjun said he never knew that was even an option.
Shouldn't have to do that.
Hacker
shit,
spies
man.
on and insults victim in bed via baby monitor. Many families have come to rely on baby monitors to keep an eye on their children. However, in this case, the device couldn't protect Mark's child. Instead, it made her vulnerable. The Gilberts were in their home in Houston, Texas, when they heard a strange voice from the bedroom shared by their two children. When the family got inside the bedroom, they realized that the voice was coming from the very baby monitor meant to protect their children.
Oh
What came next was horrifying.
Oh
Perhaps reading the child's name on the wall, the hacker said, "Wake up, Allison," and called her vile names. Then the camera turned to Mark and his wife. The hacker proceeded to call Mark stupid moron and his wife a before Mark unplugged the camera. Luckily, Allison never woke up from her peaceful sleep, but what truly saved her wasn't the technology, it was sheer chance. She was born deaf and was without her cochlear implants, so she didn't hear any of the insults. Even so, the access remained until the power was cut. Robert Davies. For 9 years, he spied on over 30 women in their most vulnerable moments, including people he knew. Robert Davies was a 32-year-old software engineer whose sole purpose was to hack...
Look at you, look. You, look at you. You spotty hacking bloke. God, mate. It's not good, man.
into women's
Weirdo.
webcams and secretly filmed them during private
Look at
and
ya.
intimate moments.
Git.
Between 2010 and 2019, Robert used a remote access Trojan, also known as RATs, to
Rat. He is a bloody rat.
gain remote access to their devices and steal inappropriate images they'd stored in them. But he didn't stop there. At first, his hacks were small, isolated incidents targeting random victims. But as his methods grew more sophisticated, he scaled from one-off invasions to an organized system of digital surveillance.
Oh my
Robert
God.
further gained access to his victims' phones or computers by using fake URLs and malware with special tools called cryptors. This meant that using a fake social media profile, he would trick his victims into clicking these URLs while the cryptors prevented antivirus programs from recognizing them. So he'd gain access to their webcams and film them in real time.
Oh my Lord.
On one occasion, he hacked into a schoolgirl's webcam, and while she showered and changed her clothes,
What? Bloody hell.
he filmed her and kept her intimate images. He also used a fake Skype account to catfish his victims into performing inappropriate acts with him. This went unnoticed until 2019.
I tell you why I get so angry, because, right, I've got kids. And if you've got kids, you'll understand as well. That is just wrong on every effing level. Level? It's a level. On every level. It's, you know.
That year, the
Sorry.
National Crime Agency noticed Robert when he purchased a cybercrime toolkit, which included cryptors and rats. He was also identified as a customer of an online marketplace that sells stolen credentials. He was first arrested in November 2019 and was arrested again on several occasions until August 2021. Each time he was charged with more offenses than the last, as officers analyzed his devices and gained access to the full extent of his crimes. Officers found 27 indecent images and videos on his phone, and a total of 30 victims were identified.
Don't you think?
On January 11th, 2022, he was sentenced to 26 months in prison. He was also placed on the sex offenders register, given a 10-year restraining order on 5 of the victims, and a 10-year sexual harm prevention order.
Right, so he had 27 indecent images and videos of children. And he got a 26-month sentence.
Restraining order on 5 of the victims and a 10-year sexual harm prevention order. Ring camera hacker watches as family is swatted. In November 2020, police in Georgia got a report of a shooting happening in a home in DeKalb County. Quickly, 10 officers were dispatched to the location. However, there was no shooting.
Huh?
When they got to the home, the homeowners explained that everything was fine and suggested that they might have been given the wrong address. However, they still allowed the officers to search their home in case they missed anything. Surprised, the officers confirmed the address multiple times and were confused as to what might have gone wrong. While they all stood at the door, a voice suddenly spoke from the Ring camera. "I'm right in the camera," the voice said.
"I'm right in the camera. Look in the camera, yes."
That is when they realized that the doorbell camera had been hacked.
No
they
way.
had just been swatted.
What?
The hacker proceeded to mock them, saying that
Being what?
they had just been swatted. The hacker proceeded to mock them, saying that the owners are stupid enough to use the same passwords across multiple devices.
See? Bloody exactly what I said. So getting the old bill to come out on a dumb call is being squatted. So that's a really empty-headed people out there, man. Seriously, empty-headed people.
Stop using the same passwords for everything.
He added that it's the 15th SWAT call they made that day alone.
Wow.
Yeah, we are discussing you. This is the 15th one today.
Wow.
All over the United States.
The homeowners stood there, terrified at the sudden realization that someone had been spying on them. The police launched an investigation, but the hacker could not be identified.
And as he said, you know, using the same password for all sorts of different things. Just, you know, it makes you think, doesn't it? Because if they can do that, what else can they get into? Your banking and all of it. They got some, you know, they're all a bunch of dickheads, the people that are doing it, right? But I tell you what, bloody clever, aren't they? Clever, little shits.
Mac patchers. It's not unusual to search online for computer-related fixes, and most of the time we find a quick how-to video or an article that explains exactly what we need to do to resolve the issue. That habit is what Mac patchers feast on.
Mac packers.
In 2016, Australian medical professor Jeff Sussman went online in search of help to download Adobe software to his new computer. There, he found an Adobe support page for Australia and a 1800 number listed on the site. Like anybody else, he called the toll-free line. The phone number then connected him to an organization called Mac Patchers. There, the operator informed him that a virus was preventing him from installing the software. Therefore, they needed him to download a program that would grant them remote access to his computer.
Now that I do know about, because there's a scamming guy on YouTube with blue hair and he stops them all from happening. Like, he's brilliant. He grabs all the scammers. He's bloody brilliant. And it's about that AnyDesk. You know, they ring up and they need access to your... I'll tell you what, if you're as dumb as me when it comes to this sort of stuff's interesting, so you want to be on the ball with this.
In Professor Sussman's own words, once you give them access to your computer, it's good night, sweet prince.
Yeah, man.
They would work on the computer and make it seem like they're actually removing viruses from it. However, in the end, they asked him to read a line of text confirming that he was satisfied with the service. Unbeknownst to him, this fake satisfaction script was recorded via his webcam and used to create a series of staged review videos on YouTube to promote Mac Patchers. His video was one of 69 publicly posted, humiliatingly marketed as endorsements. Additionally, they defrauded the professor of 1,590 Australian dollars. Although he managed to reverse the transaction, it still left him terrified and upset. Another victim, Melinda, had also gone online to search for help with a computer problem. Like Professor Sussman, she got scammed by the Mac Patchers, and by the end of their supposed service, she said, "I'm very happy with the service I have received today," reading off a script provided by them. Unknown to her, she was being filmed and would soon join the list of happy review videos. They got away with it until someone single-handedly uncovered them. A self-described scam baiter, David, who specializes in uncovering online criminal organizations, recorded his interaction with Mac Patchers using screen recording software. Like the professor, they gained access to his computer and directed him to check their reviews on YouTube if he had any doubts. David posted the interaction online, which subsequently caused the Mac Patchers to vanish from the internet. Moreover, he collected dozens of Australian telephone numbers used by scammers over the past year and reported them to the telco networks that hosted them. However, the 1800 toll-free number is still in use. Christopher Taylor.
I mean, you know, as I've been saying before, I'm not very up to date. I'm not very computer, whiz on the, I'm not very good at it. Okay, so anything happens, I just get my missus to sort it out. But if you have got issues with your computers and you don't know about them, you're like me, you just, ain't got a clue, ain't got a Scooby-Doo, then I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't check out things on the net and looking for things. Get in contact with someone properly, proper. So have someone else come and do that over there. So bloody dangerous, isn't it, peeps? Hey, what's this world coming to, man?
While you eat, study, or just lie in bed in the comfort of your own home, someone might be watching you. 57-year-old Christopher Taylor would lure people by placing a phony link on adult sites. When they clicked it, it would allow him full access to their devices, including their webcam. From his laptop in his home in Wigan, the father of three would watch women eating, studying, getting undressed, and most times engaging in sexual activities. Starting in 2010, he successfully tricked 772 people in 39 countries, amassing 80,000 images and videos of intimate and private moments. Bizarrely, he obtained 82 bestiality images and videos, including one depicting a woman being inappropriate with a dog. However, a victim in 2016 ultimately led to his end. In 2016, a student at the Georgia Institute of Technology unintentionally downloaded malware onto their laptop at the university's aerospace laboratory. Due to the college's sophisticated spyware system, the malware was flagged and the FBI was alerted. Subsequently, the FBI raided his home where he was a full-time carer for his wife. Although he had deleted thousands of videos before the raid, investigators still found enough to arrest him. After his arrest, he was wanted in the U.S. to face trial on an indictment alleging 1 count of wire fraud and 2 counts of computer fraud. Therefore, the U.S. requested his extradition. However, only 7% of the victims were based in the U.S. at the time, while 93% were outside the country. As a result, the request was denied. Nearly 7 years after the initial investigation, police brought charges against him. And in 2023, he was sentenced to 14 months.
Oh my God! Oh my bloody good God! 14 months? 14 months for being a beast? Jesus, wow.
Level 4.
Wow.
Pennsylvania's school districts spy on students at home via webcam. In November 2009...
Sorry, but this is why people do that. They do what they do. They go to these little day camps, prison places, for a shit and a shave, and they're back out again, doing exactly what they did before. Where's the justice, man?
The sophomore student Blake Robbins was called to the principal's office. She showed him a photo of himself eating something she claimed was an illegal drug and said he'd be punished for it.
What?
But Blake wasn't taking any pills, and even more shocking, the photo was taken in his bedroom inside his home. So how did the school get that picture? At the start of the 2009-2010 school year, the Lower Merion School District provided each of its 2,306 students with a school-issued laptop for use at home.
Oh, go on.
Those laptops weren't just for homework.
You wouldn't get that in this bloody country, would you? I don't know. Well, I don't know. Would you? I wouldn't have thought so.
School authorities could remotely activate the webcams, supposedly to help locate missing computers. So while Blake sat in front of his laptop eating Mike and Ike candy, someone from the school was watching him. When the school contacted Blake's parents to report his inappropriate behavior, they were baffled and soon filed a lawsuit.
Damn right.
And that's where the disturbing truth came out. Blake later mentioned that he'd sometimes noticed the green webcam light flicker on, but he always assumed it was a glitch. Investigators, however, discovered thousands of images and screenshots of students taken through their webcams, including a photo of Blake shirtless after a shower, and even one of his father using the computer.
That's fucking... My God, that is a school. That is an actual school doing that. Holy shit. Surely that's like... It's your privacy, man, isn't it? Surely that's not allowed. Surely not.
In the end, the school admitted to taking over 56,000 images without consent and agreed to a $610,000 settlement, of which Blake received around $175,000 in a trust fund.
Yeah, to be bought on books and do your college. Yeah, that's all good. But what about all the other kids?
Finds daughter's room featured on Live app. Jennifer, a mother of 3, was scrolling in a Facebook group for Houston mothers when she came across a screenshot of her twin daughters in their bedroom.
Oh, what?
Startled, she reached out to the person who posted it, and that's when she realized the disturbing truth. Shelby Ives, another mother who lives over 2,000 miles away in Oregon, had been looking at satellite images of the Earth online with her son. As she searched for additional images, she came across a free app called Live Camera Viewer.
Who hasn't done that? Who hasn't gone on to the live satellite feed? I have loads of times. Loads of times. And there's loads of free apps to actually look and watch it. Bloody hell. Eh? Cool, mate. If you, I bet one of you have. Surely.
When she downloaded it, what she discovered was an app that allowed users to watch numerous live videos. The videos ranged from doorbell cameras to baby monitors. As she scrolled past different images, she came across a live stream of a little girl's room with the location listed as Houston. From that moment, she took screenshots and started sharing them on Facebook under posts from news outlets and comments in mom groups. When Jennifer reached out to Shelby to get the source of the screenshot, she discovered that over 500 people had liked the video of her children sleeping, playing, dressing, and eating in their...
Holy shit. Holy shit. That is just crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. That is crazy. Actually, people, I mean, do you know what? I have seen that. I have actually seen videos. Not that I've sat and watched them, but I've seen them on TikTok. And it's got a camera watching some person sleeping. I mean, why? What? Got nothing better to do. I mean, that's fucking crazy, man. Seriously. Seriously.
After investigation, Jennifer dressing people had liked the video of her children sleeping, playing, dressing, and eating in their bedroom.
Wow,
After investigation, Jennifer discovered that her daughter had been playing a computer game and wanted to play with friends. So when a prompt requested the name of a server, she searched for one online and used it. This unprotected server enabled hackers to discover the family's IP address, locate their monitor and computer system, and subsequently access their modem and DVR system, which was connected to cameras throughout the house. After this discovery, Jennifer restricted her children's access to the internet and unplugged the cameras.
Wow, yeah.
Laptop rental company spies on couple. Whenever we rent something, whether it's a home or a device, our biggest worries are usually about payments or the risk of losing it. But for this couple, their biggest fear was being spied on. In 2010, Brian and Crystal Bird rented a laptop from Aaron's Incorporated. Although they had a desktop computer, Crystal needed to study radiography at her college. Subsequently, they paid 3 separate installments to claim complete ownership of the computer. However, a few months later, an Aaron's Inc. store manager showed up at their doorstep wanting to retrieve the computer. He believed the couple hadn't finished paying for it, and when Brian refused, he showed him a picture of him using the computer taken by the computer's webcam. That was supposed to help him get an easy repossession, a private picture of his customer. Instead, Brian filed a lawsuit. The laptop contains spyware called PC Rental Agent, capable of taking photos, screenshots, and tracking the user's activity without consent.
Oh my lord.
The lawsuit alleged that Aaron installed spyware on all their devices to monitor their customers' personal lives and had been doing so since 2007.
That is serious, like, breach of privacy, man. I'm running out of words to say. It's just nuts, isn't it? Absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts.
The software is designed to monitor customers to ensure they pay for the devices, but it also tracks their location, stores their bank account information, and reads their emails. Further investigation revealed that this had affected over 400,000 customers across their retail stores.
So if they can get the details, right, of all your everything, all your health, all your bank, everything, right? Because, you know, there are people that sell that stuff, isn't it? That's why people, you know, that's why we do what we do to protect it. And, like, you're just thinking to yourself, that's out there. Once it's out there, fucking anyone could get it. Hell,
although the Birds had not signed any agreement that specified that Aaron would install a PC rental agent, the charges could not be proven to be criminal. Therefore, the Federal Trade Commission ordered rental companies to stop using spyware without the ultimate consent of their customers.
Otherwise, what? You're going to get 2 weeks sentence. You're going to get banged up for 2 weeks.
Philip Durchinsky.
Hell, man.
For more than a decade, a quiet man sat in the basement of his parents' home in Ohio, controlling thousands of PCs and Macs. Starting in 2003, Philip Durchinsky, a gifted programmer, began using his gifts for something sinister. He created malware called Fruit Fly because it was initially found on computers in medical labs where researchers were studying fruit flies. It looked harmless, but once installed, it gave him complete control over his victim's computer. He could turn on the webcam, record their screen, log every keystroke, and even watch through their cameras for hours without them knowing. In fact, he could detect when the user is not sitting in front of the computer. Then he could turn the webcam on to spy on them as they walk around their bedroom. Quite disturbingly, he programmed the malware to alert him if a user was watching adult content. He was first discovered after Case Western Reserve University, where he was an alumnus, noticed strange traffic on their network, data being quietly sent to an unknown server. They notified the authorities that more than 100 computers had been infected with malware.
Bloody hell.
Ultimately, cybersecurity experts traced the signals, and after months of digging, they traced them back to Philip's IP address. When the FBI raided his house in 2017, they discovered that he was more dangerous than they thought.
So they gave him a 6-week holiday at Disneyland.
They retrieved millions of images, videos, passwords, and personal files from thousands of computers owned by companies, schools, a police department, and government agencies, including ones responsible for nuclear weapons.
Oh my God.
Despite this, after nearly 7 years in custody, Philip Durchinsky was...
hang on. Hang on.
Despite this, after nearly 7 years in custody, Philip Durchinsky was ruled incompetent to stand trial because of his autism spectrum disorder. Strangely, while both the prosecution and defense agree with the court's decision, Philip himself did not. To this day, it remains unclear whether he has been released or is still under federal supervision.
I guarantee you he's out. I guarantee you he got out. 100%. He just told us he's been away for 7 years. I mean, Christ.
Level 5. Ring camera hacker demand for 50 Bitcoin ransom. 28-year-old Tanya Amadore was sleeping in her room when her Ring camera alarm started going off. Scared, she thought someone had broken in. She was wrong, at least not literally. As she panicked, a voice suddenly came from her Ring camera. Laughing, the person said,
This is Ring support. Your account
account has been terminated by a hacker.
While she stood there frozen in shock, the hacker then went straight to business.
Pay this 50 Bitcoin ransom or else you will get terminated yourself right now.
Afterwards, he hacked into her doorbell camera and made it appear as though he was standing at her front door. Despite being terrified, Tanya did not pay the $400,000 worth of Bitcoin or engage in further conversation. Instead, she pulled out the camera batteries. When she contacted Ring, they stated that she must have used a compromised password, but Tanya maintained that she used a unique 21-character password for her Ring account. After the incident, her boyfriend, who works in IT, filed a police report and requested access to all her Ring user data. Since then, Tanya has stopped using the cameras.
Damn straight, I would have done exactly the same thing. 100%. It's just... No, it's just too much. Too much.
Webcam peeping Tom.
Oh,
the next time you receive an email, double check and verify again before clicking on attached links, as this was Matthew's signature style. From his mother's front room in Scotland, 33-year-old Matthew Anderson sent 50 million spam emails containing an attachment for recipients to click on. The 200,000 people who clicked on the link had their computers infected with a virus, which enabled Matthew to turn their computers into his puppets. He could record keystrokes, grab screenshots, and watch through webcams whenever he pleased. For Vaughn, he watched strangers in their home. One vulnerable victim sobbed after he hacked her system and began changing the words on her screen. Matthew later boasted to another hacker that he'd watched her and her sisters for hours, then complained they never undressed. He didn't stop at private homes either.
16-year-old,
He accessed government systems, Oxford University computers, and even hospital He accessed government systems, Oxford University computers, and even hospital medical records.
Shit.
It was a John Radcliffe Hospital IT
That's down the road from us. Oh my God.
Specialist who first raised the alarm after noticing stolen data.
Oh wow.
Ultimately, after a 4-year operation, authorities found out that he was working with a hacking gang called M.A.D. Ironically, he publicly ran a computer security firm offering to protect clients from people like himself.
Wow, can you imagine that, getting into hospital records and changing things? Oh, you vile bastard.
During covert monitoring, investigators discovered that Matthew successfully hijacked 1,743 computers in just 90 minutes.
Oh my God! 1,743 computers is in 90 minutes. Bloody hell.
Copied a victim's will, website passwords, bank password, and even CV. Consequently, he was arrested and sentenced to...
No, confidential medical reports on children and intimate photographs who filmed themselves. Bloody hell, what a bastard.
CV.
Wow.
Consequently, he was arrested and sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Hang on, did I just see that? Being jailed in Finland. It's just
6.
fucking crazy.
Florida hacker invades homes and mocks the police. Joshua Coop was standing in the driveway of his home in Florida when a strange person began talking through his Ring camera. But unlike many cases, this hacker just wanted to brag. Coop took out his phone to record as the intruder laughed at him for getting hacked.
Hello?
Perhaps to gain evidence, Joshua began asking him a series of questions that prompted the intruder to keep talking to him. "Do you see any people?" Joshua asked, to which the hacker immediately replied with pride, "Oh yeah, I see those too," before going into the details about inappropriate acts he had witnessed from spying on people.
Well, that's the intention, to put you on the news to figure out who you are. You are anonymous, okay.
During their conversation, a police car pulled up, but that didn't bother the hacker. He went ahead and mocked the police. He first commented on the female police officer's appearance as she approached the driveway. Then he stated that he was not scared of the cops since they would not find him and would probably just take the camera as evidence like the last time, suggesting that he had done it multiple times. He even bragged about being friends with the same person who hacked into a family's Ring camera and pretended to be Santa Claus while playing creepy music. Appalled by how bizarre the situation was, Joshua Coop pulled out the camera batteries. M.A.D. USA webcam hack. While Cassidy Wolf, the 2013 M.A.D. USA, prepared for her debut, someone was secretly lurking in the shadows watching her every move. When he was ready to confront her, she received an anonymous email claiming that the sender had stolen private images from her computer's webcam. If she didn't want those images to go public, she was told to send an explicit photo of herself. Instead, Cassidy went straight to the authorities. The FBI traced the email using IP address analysis, which consistently led back to an internet service account in Temecula, California. The address was registered to the home of 19-year-old Jared James Abrahams.
Dirty git.
When they raided his house, they discovered that Cassidy was just one of many victims.
Oh, wow.
Abrahams had used a $40 Black Shades remote access Trojan to obtain control of victims' computers and secretly capture intimate photos of them without consent.
Jesus,
He then threatened to release the images publicly unless they gave in to one of his 3 demands. Send an intimate video, send an intimate photo, or log on to Skype and do whatever he instructed for 5 minutes. At least 2 of his victims gave in to his demands.
Hang on. He had pleaded guilty to 3 counts of extortion and 1 count of unauthorised computer access. He faces up to 11 years in prison and fines of up to $1 million. And he's been sentenced in March next year. Jesus Christ Almighty. Jesus Christ Almighty.
At least 2 of his victims gave in to his demands.
He should go to prison
Investigators
for a
seized
long
his devices and discovered that he had hacked between 100 and 150 computers.
Seriously.
November 2013, Abrahams pled guilty to 1 count of unauthorized computer access and multiple counts of extortion.
I mean, look at him, look. Look at him. Smarmy little fat little face. Look. Looks like he's wearing a syrup. Yeah. Got no friends, you had to sit there and play on your computer, didn't you, mate? And be horrible to women. You little git.
He was sentenced to 18 months in federal prison.
Bloody hell! 18 months! 18 months!
Hacker hijacks baby monitor and threatens to kidnap
Holy
baby.
shit.
Nathan and Ellen Rigney were asleep in their Houston home when they heard strange noises from the baby monitor next to their bed.
Threatened to kidnap the kid.
At first, Ellen thought it was a CO2 alert. She assumed that all her baby needed was better ventilation, until they heard a strange voice shouting vulgar words in their child's room.
Wow.
Terrified that someone had broken in while they were asleep, they jumped out of bed, ready to get their child. As soon as they turned on the lights in the room, the Nest camera, which had been off, suddenly came on. That's when a man's voice came through and ordered them to switch off the lights.
How can he just do that? How is it possible for someone to be able to do that? I mean, I know you all screaming at me because they can do it, Dame. They know how to do this, Dame. They're blaming it, Dame. Blah blah blah. I understand that. But it shouldn't be able to. Doesn't matter how clever you are. You shouldn't be able to gain access to fucking baby cam or any cam. Shouldn't be allowed. And if you do, you should have your eyes confiscated. So you won't be able to watch them at all.
Then he said, "I'm going to kidnap your baby. I'm in your baby's room." Scared for their son's safety, Nathan ran upstairs only to find him fast asleep in his crib. That's when they figured it out. The baby monitor had been hacked. The couple immediately shut down the Wi-Fi and reported the case to the authorities who began an immediate investigation. However, they've been unable to identify the hacker.
That would
Level
proper
7.
freak you out, wouldn't it?
Ring
Massively.
swatting hackers. On November 8th, 2020, the West Covina Police Department received a distressing call from a child asking for help. According to the caller, their parents were having a violent argument in their home, and at least 7 gunshots had already been fired.
Shit.
Armed officers rushed to the scene believing they were about to save a child from danger. Upon arrival, they ordered the homeowners out at gunpoint, but moments later, a distorted voice came through the Ring camera, mocking and laughing at their confusion.
My God.
That was when they realized they had just been swatted. But that was only the beginning. Over the next 7 days, a group of hackers would go on a swatting spree across several homes in the United States, including 2 in Southern California. 23-year-old K. Christian Nelson and his partner hacked it.
Oh, Jesus. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is why they don't go out. I mean, look at the state of them. Eh? Look at them, look. They'll scratch it and itch it. I mean, seriously. Bloody hell, lads. Hey? 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 Scratch it and itch it.
Into Yahoo Mail accounts, then used the same password and email combinations to see if they had associated Ring accounts.
Wow.
Shockingly, many worked. With access secured to the internet-connected devices, they began calling police departments with fake emergency reports. For his amusement, Nelson once contacted the Oxnard Police Department, pretending to be a terrified child claiming that his father was armed inside the home. Moments later, he made a follow-up call to report the sound of gunshots fired inside the house.
See, the thing is, right, I mean, I live in England, okay? But over there, police officers carry guns, okay? Now, if they've got a phone call saying that your mum and dad's kicking off, the old man's going off at me mum's going off at dad, there's gunshots are going out, fire and armed response are going to, it's not armed response, but old Bill's going to turn up and they're going to have guns. So you can, you know, step out. If you don't step out, you know what accidents happen and all the rest of it. All over a little shitbag, ringing the old Bill up, making out there's some nuisance. Bloody hell. I bet he gets a 2-week holiday in Disneyland. What's your
As officers stormed the house, Nelson used the home's Ring camera to taunt, mock, and threaten them in real time. But that wasn't all. Unbeknownst to both police and victims, the hackers were streaming the entire incident live on social media, broadcasting the chaos for others to watch.
You are kidding me.
Days later, one of the hackers, James Andre McCarty, called another local police department pretending to be a man who had just killed his wife and was holding someone hostage.
You piece of shit. You piece of shit. In one incident, they knocked into a different kind of victim, posing as a young child. They called police violence. See, look, even armed police responded to the home based on the Hope's call, and the homeowners were removed from the residence at gunpoint. You know, I mean, what if the guy played up a little bit? He could have got, you know.
And pretending to be a man who had just killed his wife and was holding someone hostage.
I mean, that's so dangerous. All because you're bored and you got big fucking ear holes.
He claimed to be armed and said his home was rigged with explosives. Then, from the safety of his own house, he live-streamed the SWAT response online. When the calls stopped, it seemed as though they had vanished without a trace. For 2 years, no one was charged and no arrests were made. Then, in 2022, authorities publicly revealed the results of their investigation. Both men were arrested and charged with conspiracy and unauthorized access to protected computers.
Look at you. Look at the state of you. Eh? Now you're buggered, ain't you? Look at you. Twats.
K. Christian Nelson, who was already serving a separate state prison sentence in Kentucky, was sentenced to 44 months in prison, while his partner, James McCarty, received a 50-month sentence.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. So they were calling old Bill, getting the old Bill to go around people's houses because they said that people were arguing with guns, firearms going off, bum bum, and all the rest of it. And you get 14 and 15 months. You know, it's just, what's gone on? What's actually going on with this place? What is happening?
InScam Global Unsecured Cams. Every segment in this iceberg has involved someone hacking into their victim's system, but not in this case. On this website, thousands of web cameras are accessed and broadcast without hacking. Instacam is a Russian website that displays live feeds of webcams from more than 250 countries, including 4,591 cameras from the US, 2,059 from France, 1,576 from the Netherlands, and 500 from the UK. The images range from driveways to gyms, shops, and even baby monitors. It is even more disturbing that it is quite user-friendly. It organizes cameras by country and device manufacturer. It includes major brands like Panasonic, Linksys, and Foscam. This means anyone can literally browse through by selecting a country and a device manufacturer. But without hacking, how does it work? The site utilizes software and search tools to scan the internet for systems that had not changed their default passwords or had no login passwords at all. This means that anyone can watch them without needing to hack into them.
God.
Despite the obvious invasion of privacy, the anonymous site owner believes he is creating awareness about the security threats that internet-connected devices pose if users don't take the time to set up a unique security password. Its discovery has caused camera manufacturers to rush to update their firmware, requiring users to set a new password before they can use the device.
Jesus
However,
Christ.
in 2014, the site went offline, displaying only a message from the programmer saying he was looking for a job and providing his contact information. If it were his way of attracting attention, it might have worked. Yet in 2025, Digital Camera World reported that the site was still active.
Oh my lord. Well, I'll tell you what, bloody hell. What do you think of that one then? I mean, seriously, you know, and the thing is, even if you don't have to have, I know, like through the smart TVs, you know, they can plug in through them as well. You don't have to have a camera. Because if you just get through to you, so you've got a smart TV, people can just plug into it and watch it. And watch you. It's a real daunting thought, don't you think? Like, everything. Your phones, everything. It's just like, wow. Wow. It's bloody wrong. Wrong on every level. Wrong on every level. You know, I can understand, you know, the old Bill using it or something for a criminal investigation, trying to stop things happening, blah, blah, blah. Understandable. But to actually sit and pry into somebody else's personal whatever, you know, you're having a cuddle and watching a film with your missus on the telly, laying in a cuddle, you know what I mean? Or your kids are getting dressed, or... Wow. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Bloody shocking. Well, that was a new one anyway. Abyssal Detective. I've never done them before. But yeah, that iceberg thing's pretty nuts, eh? What do you reckon, guys? So look, I hope it hasn't upset you too much. And, you know, it's just, you know, I'm sorry if I yapped on, but it's quite a touching thing, I think. Don't you think? But, look, you know, let me know what your thoughts are, please, as always, in your comments. And please subscribe if you haven't. You know, it's all free. And, yeah, you know, become part of this crazy asylum family that we got going on. And I'll tell you what, I mean, we reached 3,000 the other day. I know it's not a lot to some people. We've got a lot more. But, you know, help us get to 5,000, please. Come on, that's what we're trying to get to. Get to 5,000 and then obviously 10 and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It don't matter. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're there, we'll be here. All right? I'll be here as long as you're there. And the girls are out doing investigations. You know, they love it. They love it. They're not here this weekend. They're gone away because it's their mum's birthday. It's Mad Mum's birthday. She's only 21 again. It's crazy, isn't she? And, yeah, so they've got away somewhere lovely. The girls, you know, Michelle and April have taken their mum somewhere nice. I think it's a lovely, lovely thing. Having a lovely weekend away, you know. And so while they're away, they might well have a play, as they say. So, look, let me know what you thought, peeps, all right? And I'll have another one out for you tomorrow. I've just fucking remembered. I've just clicked. You know what day it is, don't you? Bloody Friday. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Rice and peas. It's bloody Friday. Come on! Come on! I won't carry on with that one because you know the song that. Anyway, have a lovely weekend, whatever you do. I will be going live myself on Sunday because they're not going to be here. So I will come in and say hello. I'll set it all up myself. I can do it all. I can do all that. And I'll be chatting with you. So you come and have a chat with me on Sunday, 7:30, all right? Lovely, jubbly. I say it's 7:30 Sunday, but you know what? I might even come on earlier. So just keep the notifications on, all right? Because you never know. You never know. All right? Till then, you take care of yourselves, all right? Take care of each other. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay scared. Right, my beautiful people. I love you loads, all right? Seriously, I really do. And cover up them bloody cameras. Yeah? Seriously. Or, just a better idea, don't have a shitty password. Do you know what I mean? Like, if your name's Bob, don't have Bob as your password. You know? Don't. And don't use your kids' names. Don't use your date of birth or wedding day or anything. You know? I know some blokes out there will have a wedding day because they can't remember their bloody anniversary. So, it's a good excuse. But, you know, just be one step ahead, people, yeah? Please. Please. Alright? That's the whole point in me going on like a twat. Like, you know, so you just click. Alright? Love you loads. Take care. God bless, peeps. Adieu. Doesn't ever fucking finish like that, does it? You know? I bet Channel 4 don't have this problem. Love ya!